Yeah, we know. You've probably seen a dozen lists about Mike Tyson's greatest knockouts. But guess what? This one's different. Why? Because we're not just rehashing the same highlights. We're walking you through the most brutal, jaw-dropping, what the just happened knockouts that cemented Tyson as a force of nature in the ring. These are the moments that turned Iron Mike into the most feared man on the planet. Tyson didn't just win fights, he obliterated his opponents, crushed careers, and left his opponents questioning their life choices. And we're here to remind you why Mike Tyson became the embodiment of fear in the boxing world. Oh, this list? It's pure, unfiltered Tyson. No filler, just raw destruction. And if you don't agree with our list, that's cool. But just remember, you're going toe-to-toe with the legacy of a man who left entire divisions quaking before they even stepped into the ring. Good luck with that. We're kicking things off with Carl the Truth Williams, a guy who truly believed he could outbox Tyson. But Tyson had a different truth waiting for him, a reality check in the form of a devastating left hook. The fight barely lasted 93 seconds, and most of that was Tyson stalking Williams like a predator, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. And when he did, one left hook was all it took. Williams went down, and the fight was over. Tyson's power wasn't just a threat, it was a career ender. Williams, once a promising contender, never fully recovered from the psychological blow of that knockout. At this point in his career, Tyson was in his prime and feared for his ability to finish fights in the first round. Fighters like Williams thought they could outbox Tyson by staying on the outside, but Tyson's speed and aggression would often prove them wrong in under 2 minutes. By the time Tyson faced Savarese, he was past his prime. But don't let that fool you. Even a slightly faded Tyson still packed more punch than most heavyweights in their peak. This fight lasted just 38 seconds, and Tyson made sure Savarese never saw him coming. In a flurry of punches, Tyson floored Savarese, and when the ref stepped in to stop the fight, Tyson didn't care. He kept swinging, looking like a man on a mission to destroy, regardless of the rules. Tyson wasn't just trying to win, he was trying to make a statement. Even at the tail end of his career, Tyson was still a terrifying force. By 2000, Tyson's career had seen highs and lows, but this fight reminded everyone that even a Tyson operating at half speed was still faster and more dangerous than almost anyone else in the division. His instinct to finish the job, even after the fight was called, showed the relentless drive that made him a legend. Bruce Seldon was supposed to be tough. He had a reputation for having a granite chin, and many thought he'd be a real challenge for Tyson. But when Tyson stepped in the ring, all that hype about Seldon's chin evaporated. The knockout came from a jab. Yeah, you heard that right. Tyson's jab hit harder than most fighters' full punches, and Seldon crumbled under its power. Critics whispered that Seldon took a dive, but the truth is, Tyson's jab was so fierce, it didn't matter. A single punch was all Tyson needed to send a message. You don't stand up to Iron Mike, no matter what you've got on paper. Tyson's power was legendary, but this fight demonstrated just how dangerous even his basic tools, like the jab, could be. Seldon had earned the nickname the Atlantic City Express for his fast rise, but Tyson derailed that hype with one punch. If you want to understand just how devastating Mike Tyson's uppercut was, look no further than his fight with Lorenzo Boyd. Tyson wasn't just knocking Boyd out, he was sending him airborne. When Tyson landed that uppercut, Boyd left the ground for a split second before collapsing to the canvas like a ton of bricks. But Tyson didn't just drop Boyd, he annihilated him. And the crowd, they didn't even cheer at first. They were stunned, watching Tyson deliver an uppercut that looked like something out of a video game. Tyson's uppercuts became his signature move. Fighters often tried to smother him in close quarters, but Tyson used his compact frame and explosive power to punish them with shots that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Now, when Pinklon Thomas stepped into the ring with Tyson, he genuinely believed he could take the punishment and push Tyson deep into the fight. And for a few rounds, he held his own. But then, Tyson unleashed a 6-punch combo that ended the night in brutal fashion. Each punch landed with precision and power, and by the time Tyson was done, Thomas was on the mat wondering when it just hit him. Tyson didn't even break a sweat. 6 punches, one after the other, and Thomas was out cold. This fight demonstrated Tyson's hand speed and accuracy, which were often overshadowed by his raw power. Thomas was no slouch though. He was a former WBC heavyweight champ, but Tyson tore through him like he was just another name on the list. Now this is the fight where Mike Tyson officially became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 20 years old, and he made sure the world knew he wasn't playing around. Trevor Berbick was the reigning WBC champ, and while he talked a big game before the fight, Tyson had other plans. One punch from Tyson had Berbick stumbling like a newborn deer. He fell, got up, and then fell again, his legs betraying him with every step. It wasn't just a knockout. It was Tyson announcing his reign over the heavyweight division. Berbick left the ring knowing he had just faced the future of boxing. Tyson's knockout of Berbick wasn't just about winning the belt, it was a changing of the guard. Tyson's ferocity, combined with his youth, made him a one-man wrecking crew. And this fight marked the start of a new era in heavyweight boxing. Larry Holmes was one of the most respected heavyweights of his era, a man known for his durability and technical brilliance. But when he stepped into the ring with the prime Mike Tyson, all those accolades didn't mean much. Tyson knocked Holmes down not once, but 3 times, before finishing him in the 4th round. This was more than just a win for Tyson. It was a statement. Holmes had never been knocked out before, and Tyson handed him his first KO in devastating fashion. Even Holmes himself admitted afterward that he felt like he'd been hit by a car. Tyson was a wrecking ball, and Holmes, a heavyweight legend, was just another target. Holmes had been inactive for a while before facing Tyson, but he was still considered one of the all-time greats. Tyson didn't just beat Holmes, he demolished him, adding another legendary name to his hit list. Blink and you missed it. Marvis Frazier, son of the legendary Joe Frazier, was expected to put up a fight. He was tough, sure, but Tyson didn't care about toughness. In just 30 seconds, Tyson turned Frazier's night into a nightmare with the monstrous uppercut that froze him in place. Eyes wide open, completely out of it. This was Tyson at his most terrifying. Frazier didn't even have time to process what hit him. He fell to the canvas like a ton of bricks, and Tyson just stood there, calm, cool, and collected, as if he was saying, "Next." Frazier was considered a promising heavyweight, but this fight showed just how far above the competition Tyson was. It wasn't just a victory, it was a message to the entire division that no one was safe. Michael Spinks came into this fight as the undefeated former light heavyweight champion. Some believe Spinks could outbox Tyson, that he might be the one to finally test the unstoppable force. But Tyson didn't just beat Spinks, he demolished him in 91 seconds. After a body shot followed by a brutal right hand, Spinks was done, physically, mentally, emotionally. The fight wasn't just a loss for Spinks, it was a career-defining beatdown. Tyson left the ring as the undisputed heavyweight champion, and Spinks never fought again. This fight was seen as a huge event in boxing history, with many hoping that Spinks could beat Tyson's toughest challenge. Instead, Tyson made Spinks look just like another opponent on his path to domination. Topping our list is Tyson's absolute destruction of Frank Bruno in 1989. Bruno was tough, sure, but Tyson was on a whole other level. Tyson hit Bruno with combinations that made him stagger around the ring, like a man lost at sea. And then came the uppercut, one of the most devastating punches Tyson ever threw. Bruno hit the canvas hard, and the fight was over. This was Tyson at his most dangerous, relentless, powerful, and seemingly unbeatable. He didn't just knock Bruno out. He tore through him like a hurricane, leaving no doubt about who ruled the heavyweight division. This was the fight that showcased the full arsenal of Tyson's skills, speed, power, and the ability to finish in dramatic fashion. Bruno was tough, but Tyson was a force of nature that night. Mike Tyson didn't just win fights, he decimated his opponents, leaving them broken before the end of the first round. Each knockout on this list isn't just a highlight. It's a glimpse into why Tyson became the most feared man in boxing history. His combination of power, speed, and raw aggression was unmatched. But here's the question. Could today's heavyweights survive a prime Mike Tyson? Would they even make it out of the first round? Let us know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Knockout Nest for more hard-hitting content. We'll see you again when the dust settles on the canvas.